The 10 best Marvel stories of all time and why you might want to avoid social media in mid-December. We are going to discuss those things among some other topics up ahead. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that we do on Sunday night because it gives us an opportunity to come together as a comic book community and spend some time talking about some things that are top of mind for me and might also be top of mind for you. In addition to that, I give you a rundown of the content that is going to be released from my channel over the upcoming week. And above all else, we have a good time. And I will tell you, there are several announcements that I want to make here at the very beginning. So I will get to those things in a hot second. I first want to give a shout out to some folks that have joined joined the live stream here. I see a lot of people saying hello to Fat Dad, so we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge a Fat Dad Comics. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, Mark. It is always good to see you, my friend. Congrats on those books that you picked up. Fieldtastic is in the house. How you doing, sir? And what is it? Madam and Sir Master Blaster are in the house. How you guys doing? Milt says, drinking, eating, life could not be better. That's what's up. Matt, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Brian is in the house. Tina, the OG. How you doing, my friend? It is good to see you. Chuck is in the house scrolling through. Stephanie, I see you. My man Dave, how you doing? Action Figure Comedy is in the house scrolling. Matt Woods, how you doing? One of the blue wrenches. Joe, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I'm actually scrolling up the live stream right now. I think I might be L Smith, my man. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. So, as I mentioned, there are several announcements that I want to get to. One of the very first things, I'm looking at my camera and the view is all jacked up. It is all jacked up. And to try to fix it right now would be a disaster. So we are not going to do that. I think I saw Ryan Davis. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. If you are in the chat right now and this is your first time in a live stream, I definitely want to encourage you to let us know if this is your first time here so that you can properly be welcome, so that you can properly be welcomed by the Comic Book Soldiers and by the Gibbon Gang. So one thing that I want to do is to let you guys know who the winner of the short boxed giveaway is for this month. Every single month, the guys over at Shortboxed do a giveaway, right? And they sponsor 2 videos on the channel. In one of those videos, I basically give people an opportunity to win a $100 credit from Shortboxed. And with the month is almost over and it is time for me to make the announcement. I've been a little remiss. I needed to do it several days ago, but Thanksgiving and life and all that good stuff. So the winner of the giveaway is Justin Torres. Justin Torres, you, sir, are the winner of this month's short boxed giveaway. And essentially what Justin has won is a $100 credit that he can put towards the purchase of anything on the app. So there is a link, I do believe, in the description of this video where you can download the Short Boxed app. A wonderful app. I've known BJ and Gene for quite some time, and the app is incredible. They just awarded $2.15 million in venture capital to make some wonderful investments back into the app and into their organization as a whole. And I am only slightly jealous about that. But Justin has won this $100 credit that can be put towards the purchase of anything on the app. So Justin, all you have to do is to send me a message of some sort, potentially, preferably via email at Regie@regiecollects.com. I need your full name and all that kind of stuff. And then what I'll do is to get you the code after a day or so. I got to reach out to the guys at Shortbox. They send me the code. I send you the code and then off you are to the races, my friend. Congrats to you on that. And I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned because, again, Shortbox does this giveaway every single month. So there you go. A couple of other announcements here off of the top. There will be no show on Wednesday. No show on Wednesday. We typically do a live stream on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to be able to do that show, and I'll tell you later why I can't do the show, but there will be no show. One of the other big things that people have been asking about, people have been at, can you even see the whole wall? I mean, my view is disastrous here. It is disastrous. Of a lot of people have been asking about getting there. That's better. About, I probably bumped it. Signed copies of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. People have been asking about that. Copies of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. You guys know that we sold out of the guide. We released it officially on Saturday at GarageCon. By Tuesday afternoon, we were essentially sold out. There are 3 comic shops that still have copies of the guide: JAF in Pennsylvania, A1 Comics in Sacramento, California, and then lastly, Ages of Comics in Alaska. And shout out to those guys. They did a live stream last night and made mention of the guide. You can still get copies of the first print there, but people have been asking about signed copies. If you were not at GarageCon, you could not get a signed copy. We are going to do some signed copies, but we are specifically going to do CGC 9.8 signed copies. We have 24 copies of the guide that have been signed by Doug and myself that have been set aside. We are going to be sending those in, fingers crossed, this week to CGC to get those yellow labels. And after that, we are essentially done with the CGC. We're only doing the yellow labels. I want another book to hang on my wall with the yellow label. And this is a big thing, right? This is the guide. I don't know of another YouTuber that has attempted to do something like what Doug and I have attempted to do, which is to put together this guide that has been well received by the comic book community. So I want to get this thing encapsulated so that I can have a copy. Doug may even get a copy for himself. I'm not quite sure, but these will be made available. What I'm trying to do is to get them bundled up, get them sent off to CGC, and at least let them get into the process before I open the doors to take pre-books. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because of what is happening right now with a pre-order that people have done that has taken way longer than I ever anticipated. It makes me uncomfortable to be holding people's money as long as I am. So I want to tighten up the time between you giving me money and you getting what it is that you paid for. I want to tighten that up. So that is part of the reason why I'm delaying, and that is the only reason why I'm delaying. So what I will do is when the 24 books hit the CGC system, I will give a notification so that people can be ready to make some magic happen. Patreon will probably get advance notice just because that is what we do. We try to give Patreon members advance notice on things. So that is how you can, if you are interested, get a signed copy of that book. I think a couple of people are making note of the wall back there. There is no rhyme or reason to that wall other than the books that are back there are books that I do not believe I have ever put on a wall. They may have been on something sitting off to the side of a wall, but never on the wall. So this is the first time. I do believe that those books are all back there. And at least 2 of them are A-OKs. At least 2 of them are A-OKs, but a lot of those books actually came out of the 100K collection. There is at least 1 purchase back there that I'm seeing right now, and it's that Secret Wars that is just over my head. So hopefully that rundown for people makes some sense. Let me see. There's a question. How often does the live feed go? The live feed goes twice per week. We do the live stream twice per week on Sunday, every single Sunday, by and large, for the last 140, 45, 46 weeks at 7:30. And then we do a show on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And that's been going on for about 50 some odd weeks. Deuce's boy says that wall is screaming his name, probably because of that Turtles book back there. I sold Deuce's a couple of books. He sent off those Turtle books, the second print variant that ended up coming back at 9.6s. And I was lucky enough to score a 9.8. So there you go. Doug says, I'll get a yellow label. Sounds like a great holiday gift. So again, we're only going to do 24 of those. Master Blaster, one of the blue wrenches. Thank you, brother, for helping close the gap on that, sharing with people that information. Scrolling through, Flash Fan says, chipping away at my holy grail, been grinding out NFTs and lighting the masses. That's what's up. You got to do what you got to do, brother. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. I like the Secret Wars. Yeah, there's a couple of really cool books back there. No doubt about. Actually, no, two of those. There's at least two of those back there that are A-OKs. Yeah, at least two. Nope, three. There's at least three. The Star Wars, the Detective Comics 880, and the wonderful Avengers book back there, the first appearance of the Invaders from my man Squirrel Madness. He hooked me up with that one. So thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Literally, there is no rhyme or reason to this one. I don't remember. I don't remember. And I don't want to turn around because it's like rude to turn your back to the audience. I don't remember, Eric. But if you send me a message on the Instagram, I will definitely shoot you a photo of it so you can see exactly who it is. One thing I will say to you is if you picked up a copy of the guide, and you're interested in having some fun, I released a reel on the Instagram, and it's the Distinguished Gentleman. So if you decide, if you are a gentleman or even a woman or a madam, if you will, if you take a photo of yourself with the guide, you are reading the guide, poised properly, like a proper person, send me that photo, and I'm going to insert it into another version of the reel. Again, I've been doing these TikTokies and the reels on Instagram, having some fun, trying to show a different side of my personality. There was at least one comment I saw here where someone said that they did not get their copy of the guide. I would say stay tuned. You should have received a tracking number. You should be able to track the progress of the guide directly to your doorstep, P.O. box, or whatever, delivery mechanism you have. And if you don't have a tracking number, if you forward me the email where you ordered it, right, the website automatically kicks off an email. Forward me that. I should be able to provide you with the tracking number. Things got a little wonky, especially with those people that have PayPal accounts that are different from their actual name. Got a little crazy trying to match those two things up because it is not easy. So bear with me on that. Let me give you guys a rundown of some of the content that is actually going to be coming out from people always wonder, Reggie, why don't you ship internationally? Because sometimes when I do, things get lost. And other times people get hit with bills for like $1,000 for comics that are only worth $100. So shout out to Mark for dealing with the Canadians up there. Good luck, brother. Good luck for all of that. Again, if you do get it, hook it up. I will definitely use it. Just snap a photo. I will tell you, pretty fly for a Filipino guy sent me the cutest photo ever. It was one of his kids poised with the book. I love kids. I love dogs, love old people, right? So that was a really cool shot. So let me give you guys a rundown of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel. People have been asking me, now that I have picked up Hulk #1, which is not yet on the wall, it will be. People have been asking me, now that I've picked up Hulk #1, what comes next? As you would imagine, I have already anticipated this question. As soon as that video went live, some of the first comments were, so what are you going after next? First, got to stay tuned for the video because I'm not going to break the news. I'm not going to break any news in the comment section. You guys know that. But I anticipated people asking that question. I recorded the what comes next video immediately after the Hulk video was edited and scheduled. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out this week. Tina, the OG asked me a very provocative question the other day. She asked me a provocative question, and I put out this appeal to say, hey, what kind of content would you like me to cover? The OG threw out a question that I went to bed thinking about the question. I woke up thinking about the question. I recorded the video that next morning. I was like, boom, this is it. The OG hooked it up. Hopefully my response does her question justice. So that video will be coming out. Then I'm going to talk about free comics. And because I'm not doing the live stream on Wednesday, I'm going to release an additional video. So that'll be 4 pre-recorded videos that are coming out Monday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to expose a third-party grading company. Talk about a cliffhanger. Talk about a cliff. I am going to expose them. So those are the 4 videos that are coming out this week. We're also going to be releasing the podcast on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fingers crossed that my brother can make that magic happen. And then Doug also has a blog post that we are going to be releasing on Wednesday at 10 a.m. He wrote the blog post. Hopefully, I can actually get it scheduled to be released on time, unlike the last couple of weeks. The Kool-Aid man is patiently waiting for you to hang that Hulk one on the wall. You were warned. I'm going to tell you, brother, I built this wall. Okay. I built this wall. Kool-Aid man is not coming through this wall. Let me tell you, that is a solid wall back there. Okay. Technically, it's 2 walls because there's a wall behind the wall that is the fake wall that is behind me. Kool-Aid man is not coming through 2 walls. I'm going to just go ahead and say that right now. Flash fan. Flash fan says, I'm scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Yes, you did, my friend. You indeed had a good comment, question there, and we are going to acknowledge it. Chris Bicker's talking about them free comics. That's what's up. Scrolling through, after seeing Matt, what is that? Just seeing Matt's EGS Conan book. I'm sending books away this week. That's what's up. Tell Tony that Regie sent you. That's what's up. Let me see. Regie, Doug, and Tina, Superman, Batman, and one. Well done, Joe. Well done. That's what's up. I'd like that. It's the Holy Trinity, or is it just the Trinity? Is it blasphemous to say the Holy Trinity? We're just going to say the Trinity. I don't want to blaspheme. I'm not interested in that. So Phil Tassi says, I'm hoping the third party grader is not the one I just sent my books to a couple of weeks ago. That well done. I don't know what to tell you. Could be. Scrolling through the comments. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. I think I all caught Chris Bigger says Doug Bratton, my brother from another one. I'm gonna tell you, I had a chance to meet this cat, man. I had a chance to meet this cat. And, he got out the car and I was like, you look exactly like you look on camera. And then we just started talking. There was no hesitation. There was no, let me warm up to get to meet you. And we just went in. And I absolutely love some Doug Bratton. I love some Doug Bratton. And we talk basically nonstop. It is like a nonstop kind of conversation between us. Matt Wood says, Milt, I've completely been impressed by EGS. They have great grading standards and the case is well done. And again, I had several people reach out to me and say, Reggie, hey, what do you think of this EGS company? What do you think of them? I'm like, yeah, I introduced them to the market several years ago. And so EGS Tony is a good dude. He's a good dude. And I think he's trying to do some really good stuff. There you go. Dave will be mad. Joe, he's well done. Well done. You guys are hilarious. What is that? How about, yeah, man. So, the challenge with this Chris Bigger is that when the books go through a CGC, right, they change the dates. When it moves from one phase to another phase, the dates change. And oftentimes in one of those earlier phases, you don't actually see the list of books that you sent in. Later, you see the list. But because the phase has changed, the date also changes. So I've honestly lost track. I had like over 150 books there. I've honestly lost track of what's where. Let's just say that I have still a lot of books there that I'm hoping continue to move their way through the process. Let's just say that. Whether it was the exact order from I think it was January 5th was the earliest order that I had in there. I don't know whether honestly I have received those or not. Again, I will tell you that I still have a lot of books there and that I hope that they will arrive at some point pretty soon. So, nah, that's you're good. You're good, brother. So scrolling through. Okay, I'm all caught up there. Let me make sure I'm ticking off my list here. I think I'm making some good progress against the stuff that has to be done. Stephanie's laughing because she knows she's probably blocked a couple of people before, like back in the day. We're not talking now. We're talking back in the day. All right. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I am tardy to the party. I am tardy to the party on something. There is a show that came out in June of 2018 that I just started watching today. And I'm going to tell you, it is amazing. It is amazing. If you like Alias, Born Supremacy, I'm trying to think any of that, like CIA, FBI, investigative, intrigue, like mystery kind of stuff, explosions, 24, you like that kind of stuff, man, let me tell you, I started watching this show a short while ago and I was almost late to do this show because I was sitting there watching this show right here. It is Condor, and I think it's on Epix. I accessed it through Apple TV. But this show, I do believe, was released back in 2018. And initially, I was a little skeptical about this one. The show plays off of some ideas that we have seen in other movies and other TV shows, like the low level guy suddenly gets thrust into the spotlight and then all heck breaks loose and his life is turned upside down. It's that kind of thing, right? And that is so cliche. We've seen it so many times in so many other movies or TV shows. But this one is really, really well done. I am telling you for a fact that if you like the stuff that I just talked about a second ago, treat yourself to Condor. I think I am on episode 3. And if they cut me off and be like, hey, you need to pay, because they like to give you the first taste for free, then they start charging. If they make me pay, I am actually going to pay. That is how much I like this show. And I don't even know who any of these people's name. I don't know any of their names. I enjoy this show. Check it out. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not think that you're going to regret it. Yeah, it's actually a remake of a remake of a remake. I think it's been out like a couple of times. I looked up some of the research. It started getting a little convoluted because, again, I think it was like a show or a movie back in the day that was then remade. It was based upon a book and blah 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 blah. I don't care about any of that. Show is dope. It's a dope show. Watch the show. Trust me when I tell you. Condor was on for 2 seasons. Classic show from the UK, now on Epix. Yeah, and I think that, well, this is the US version, Mo. This is the US version. A lot of times those shows from the UK come over and they're actually pretty darn good. Like Downton Abbey. I think Downton Abbey was one that was in the UK, but then they remade it. Never mind, forget that. Strike that. That's not a good example. It's a good show, okay? I think I'm pretty tardy to the party because I think other people are already up on this one. So, thoughts on Hawkeye? I think it's a little slow paced. It's a little slow, but enjoyable. So a little slow but enjoyable. I was a little distracted with watching Hawkeye because my kids are basically have been off from school for like 9 days. So I have a lot going on. So maybe it could have been me that felt like it was slow, but it's actually properly paced. My feeling though is that it's a little slow. I want to I may rewatch it and get a better feel for it, but I like it. Let's just say that. I do like it. I do not think that it is as strong as Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That when that came out, that was hot, right? That was, oh my goodness, that was hot. It's definitely not as bad as the first 2 episodes of WandaVision, which I thought were utter trash. And now that we're getting further away from, I can tell you my real opinion. I think it was utter trash, but then it picked up. Loki, I just never really got into. I just never really enjoyed Loki. That is not the case for Hawkeye. I enjoy the characters. I just think that the pacing is maybe a little too slow for me. I want to see some stuff blow up. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I want to see some stuff blow up. But there you go. Oh my goodness. Anthony says, I enjoy Hawkeye much better than I expected. There you go. That's what's up. I'm scrolling through. What is that? Hawkeye second episode better than the first. I think I would agree with that. I think that I would agree with that. No doubt. Eric says, just finished watching a great show called Luther. I started watching that and then I stopped. I want to say I was maybe 15 minutes in. It was like, I got some other stuff to do. But I will tell you that happens sometimes, and then I go back and I watch it, and I'm like, this is actually a good show. So maybe like Invincible. When there's nothing else on TV, I will go back and watch Luther. You never know. You never know. I was scrolling Hit Monkey. No. No. Scrolling. All right. So Condor on Epics. If you guys get a chance, make sure you check that one out. So earlier in the show, I gave a little bit of a tease. I gave a little bit of a tease for the 10 best stories, the 10 best Marvel stories of all time. And I am curious. Whether you guys are going to agree with this list or whether you think that there are some things that are missing. So I'm actually going to look directly at Joe. Joe, you might just want to take a break, okay? Because this is all about Marvel. It's not about DC. If just take a break because we're about to go to Marvel Land, okay? The House of Ideas. We're about to talk about the 10 best stories of all time as determined by some readers. And I was not surveyed. So I don't know who they were talking about, okay? So let me make this thing bigger. It says that the best Marvel comic stories of all time according to the readers, the top 10 stories from Marvel's House of Ideas. They basically talk about the fact that the year is about to wrap up. Like, yeah. First of all, I don't think, and I'm looking at Doug, first of all, I don't think you're supposed to start a sentence with a number. First of all, Newsarama's dope site. I don't think you're supposed to do this. At least that's what I learned at Howard University. So anyway, the first story that they've identified, I don't know if these are ranked order. They might be ranked order. Number 10 is X-Men Days of Future Past. This is a story that I've read. I actually did a deal for these two books. I think it was, 141 and 142, or is it 140 and 141? I can never remember. But I did a deal for these two books. In a Starbucks. Did a deal for these books in a Starbucks. Met a guy, rolled in, sat down, handed him the cash, grabbed the books, stood up, walked back out, got back in the car. It was fantastic. Wonderful deal. All right, so number nine on the list is Annihilation. I have never, wait a minute. I think I have read this one. I think I have read this story, and I think this one's actually a good one. I think this is a good one. There's a lot of annihilations, and I cannot remember all of them, but I do believe that I read this one. This is number 9 on the list, was Annihilation. Scrolling through this one, I completely agree with Fantastic Four, The Coming of Galactus, the 3-part story arc, 48, 49, and 50. Fantastic read. Just wonderful. I could not agree with this one more. So much so that I have a hand-painted version of issue number 49 that is sitting and hiding behind the wall behind me. The faux wall is back there. So that's definitely a good one. Number 7, Daredevil Born Again. I have not read this one. I did read a Daredevil recent run that I thought was pretty good. Let me go to the chat real quick. Don't encourage him, please. Please don't encourage him because it just, no, don't do that. Phil Tastic says Annihilation was a great read, but they went back to the well too many times with it. And that's why I'm confused, because there was like multiple versions of Annihilation. At least that's what I feel. And again, Phil Tastic is confirming that feeling just a little bit there. So did you see that? I saw that. I started to make a comment. I started to make a comment about that, Pretty Fly, about now you can also buy it at Amazon. And I'm also an affiliate. I don't do affiliate links, to be honest with you. It's not my jam, but I am an affiliate. So, hook it up. All right. So scrolling through, let me see. Ooh, I started watching that one. The Wheel of Time. I started watching that as well. I think I'm on episode 2 of that one, or maybe probably episode 2. I stopped watching that one and I switched over to this one. Condor's better. Wheel of Time, not terrible. So scrolling through, Doug is basically co-signing, says a Frank Miller classic. Squirrel Madness is putting a bet out there saying guess number 1 will be the Phoenix Saga. Anybody else want to take a bet on that one? I'm curious. I remember seeing that Daredevil cover back in the day, says the Almighty Liger King. That's what's up. 10 should be 1. Kevin's like, nope. This list is just wrong from the very first, from the jump, X-Men and Teen Titans. That's a good mashup. That is a good mashup and a cool book. Yeah, there was a rumor. I talked to my buddy over at Geekosity Mag, and he said that potentially we will get a trailer tomorrow. There you go. Chris Bigger, I'm looking right at you, Chris. Okay, so Chris, just take a break, brother. Another one of these DC guys. Just take a break. Just probably 10 minutes. Probably 10 minutes. Come back. Come back in about 10 minutes. Eric says number one will be DC Secret Wars. We shall see. Ultimate fun. Stories, not books. Stories. These are stories of all time. Chuck says no Team America. All right, let's keep going through this list. I need to make it bigger because it's too small on you all sides. So number 7 was Daredevil, Frank Miller. Number 6, number 6 is Secret Wars. There you go. And I don't think that this is not a great story arc. If you've read Secret Wars, it's not that good, right? I mean, I think that it was a very ambitious project. It was a best-selling project of all time that was then, DC tried to replicate it with was it Crisis on Infinite Earths? I think that was their response to this. But I don't believe that this is one of the best stories. I'm just going to go ahead and out and say it. I think that what came out of it, I think, was monumental. I would love to see it as a movie, but as a read, sort of painful. Number 5, X-Men Age of Apocalypse. Where is Lee Atkins when you need him? I was not reading comics at this point in the 90s. At this point in the 90s, I think that they had kind of jumped shark, and I was out. I was out at this point. There were girls, there was college, all kinds of other stuff. I was not in it. And from the artwork there, I'm just going to go ahead and say that it was probably the best thing. It's probably the best thing for me. Scrolling through the next one. Number 4, Civil War. This was a pretty good read. I think Civil War was a pretty good read, and also begat to some degree or another a little bit of like some of the Avengers stuff. We got a little bit of that in the Avengers movies. So Civil War came in at number 4. Number 3, scrolling down, is Amazing Spider-Man the night Gwen Stacy died. And as much of a Spider-Man fan as I am, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Let me see. There is a reason why you wouldn't read the book. Crisis was more like a cleanup for DC. Agree. And I think that that's what it was designed to do, was to pull together the different threads of their continuity and to make things work a little bit better. So scrolling through, let me see. This sounds more like favorite Marvel than best Marvel. I think I would have to agree with that. Yeah, I missed the part of the X-Men since I was out of, I don't think either one of us missed very much during that period of time. Almighty Liger King's going on record saying Civil War was good. That's what's up. Oh, hey. Wait a minute. AOA. That's a no? What is AOA? What the heck is AOA? You got to spell that out for me, Philtastic, because I was about to go down a path. I thought you were talking about Avengers versus X-Men and X-Men versus Avengers, but AOA. Help me out with that one, brother. Scrolling through, Squirrel Man is going on the record saying Crisis on Infinite Earths was top overall for him. Last Hunt, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last Hunt was not bad. This is not a main Spider-Man like title, but Superior Spider-Man was arguably one of the better stories that was ever told with Spider-Man. Brian Michael Bendis, I think that was who wrote that, just absolutely crushed that. Absolutely crushed it. That was really, really, really. There we go. Age of Apocalypse. Thank you, brother. You can't. You got to spell it out sometimes. You can't truncate it. You have to help me. He says, treat myself. It says, treat myself and read Age of Apocalypse. I might do that. That was one of the points that I was going to make here, is that I may actually at some point go back and read some of these stories that I have not read or have not read in a long time. I think potentially the reason that this book is on there, or this story arc is on there, is because of, I guess, the impact that Gwen Stacy's death had on Spider-Man. Maybe that is, outside of Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy is one of the more monumental things that has actually happened to Spider-Man. So maybe that's why it's on the list. So number 2, somebody was saying that this could be number 1, but oh no, it was Phoenix that you guys were projecting. But this is X-Men: The Dark Phoenix Saga coming in at number 2. Definitely a cool story arc. At the time, I don't know if it was all that well received. I remember talking to Chris Claremont. He wasn't at all happy about the fact that they brought Jean Grey back. So, but it's interesting how things change with time. So again, this ran from X-Men issue number 1 through X-Men issue number 108. So scrolling down through this one, number 1 is Infinity Gauntlet. I don't think anybody saw that coming, but I will tell you, this series, fantastic. This series, huge impact on me as a teenager when I was reading it real time. Infinity Gauntlet, I don't know if it's number 1, but it is pretty darn amazing. The one story that I did not see on there that I kind of wanted to see, Weapon X. Marvel Comics presents Weapon X. That story arc blew me away, featuring Wolverine and his whole origin. Well, hit most of his origin. Absolutely love that story arc back in the day. So Almighty Liger Kings, like, there you go. Number 1, Steve saying, I knew it. Good with number 2. There you go. If I see another Steve Congé, what you got against the multiple Phoenixes, brother? Everybody, you get a Phoenix. You get a Phoenix. A little bit of Phoenix Force over there. Kevin's okay with number 2, not okay with number 1 or number 10. He was not okay with number 10, but number 2 he is good with. Watch your mouth, okay, sir? Watch your mouth. Infinity Gauntlet, never heard of it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Infinity Gauntlet was friggin' good, says Eric. Yes, indeed. Make me read it. Make me read it all again. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. Let me see. Thanos did all of the killing so he could get a date with that. Yeah. You know you hard pressed when you have to resort to those kind of measures. Maybe if he didn't have that chin, maybe if his you've seen the chin. Maybe the chin was a little bit better. Amazing story. That was an amazing story, which helped me to spread out more in the Marvel Universe. Jim Starlin, Jim Starlin's whole universe that he built out in terms of the cosmic landscape, I absolutely love that. But again, Infinity Gauntlet, just fantastic read. I'm curious whether there was anything that you guys were expecting to see on the list that wasn't. And I'm looking at Matt Woods' name, and he's probably going to be like, I expected to see this, this Conan arc on there. But there. Let me see. Matt has been reading Conan too long and does not. But you have to respect a man that knows what he likes, and that dude likes some Conan. He also likes some Spider-Man too. Don't sleep. The Conan collection is impressive, but he does have some interest. He does have some. Pretty fly. He expected to see Maximum Carnage. There you go. Then he says, just kidding. There's a lot of people out there, brother, that are not kidding about that. They want to see some Max. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What is it? Kickers. Was it DP3? I did a whole video on the new universe because I found a lot of those books in the 100K collection. So let me see. No Heroes Reborn. Let me see. I'm scrolling through the comments here. Where are the event? Man, I don't know. Milt, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there. Let me see. I think Superior Spider-Man should have been there. If you've read it, Superior Spider-Man was really, really well done. It was well done. Let me see. Scrolling through World House of M. House of M should have been there, he says Chris Bigger. So scrolling through the comments. Okay, there you go. Thank you, brother. DB7, Starbrand, Nightmask, Justice, and the Merc. I think the Merc was actually okay. Some of them were not very good. Starbrand, I couldn't really get into. Justice, The The Merc was, I think, okay. DP7. There you go. Did I say DP3? I can't remember. So again, just a cool little list that I was able to find on Newsarama. I thought I would go ahead and share that with you guys. This article, let me see if I can shrink it. I want to say that this came out about 4 days ago. Let me look. Came out about 4 days ago. So my guess is that we're probably going to get a corresponding story featuring DC. We're probably going to get a DC list, and if it comes out, we are going to run down that list as well. So Size Force. There you go. There you go. I think I have all of them. I think I have all of those titles and a healthy number of the run. So Matt Woods is saying he loved World's War Hulk. Great read. I've never read it. Scrolling through King in Black will be down the road probably. The King in Black was pretty good. Pretty good story arc. So I think it's one of those things we have to see how it progresses. So how it's appreciated and how it ages, let's put it that way. So as I mentioned, I had an opportunity to talk to Mikey Sutton earlier today. Mikey Sutton put it out there that there may be a trailer. There may be a trailer that will drop for the new Spider-Man movie, potentially as part of football. And I have not had a chance to verify it. I'm assuming that there's Monday Night Football going on. But he basically said, if I read his text message correctly, as I woke from my nap this afternoon, there should be a trailer that actually drops. So I'll throw that out there. Mikey also hit me to something, man. I did not know this. His site, Geekosity Mag has actually received 3 million visits in the month of November. That is actually quite impressive. So shout out to Geekosity Mag. But also, as I teased at the top of the show, you may want to avoid social media. Come the middle of the month. And part of the reason why Mikey Sutton is saying this is because of the way that the new Spider-Man movie is actually going to be released. The way that it's going to be released, it is actually coming out overseas first before it comes out domestically. And you know what that means. You know what that means. All of the pirates and all those people that do what they do when they steal IP, they are going to break out their video cameras and their pirated copies, however they do it. I mean, some of those copies are pretty legit these days, but they're going to break it out and they're going to pirate this intellectual property, and they are going to start releasing it here in the US in advance of it actually coming out domestically. So you may want to avoid the social media because you know what is going to happen. This article actually talks about the fact that not only will that happen, but it talks about the fact that some of the big reveals that he believes will actually happen are being left out of the trailers on purpose because they want to reveal it to people. And he's basically saying that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be spoiled long before it is actually released here domestically. So the article almost encourages Sony to release the movie a little early. At least that's my interpretation of it, because they're like, the Tobey Maguire thing, the Andrew Garfield thing, it's probably going to come out in the days leading up to this movie actually being released. So there you go. That is the Geekosity spilling of the tea right there. So shout out to my man Mikey Sutton for doing his thing over there. Definitely appreciate him. What is that? There was a comment here. The Almighty Liger King says you got to live like a hermit for the next couple of days because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to create a thumbnail, and that thumbnail is going to tell you everything. It's going to tell you everything in like 6 words and an image, and it's going to jack it up for you, So just be prepared to Almighty Liger King's point here to live like a hermit. So backtracking here for a second, Steve is putting it out there that it would be dope to see an indie list. I don't know if they would make one, but I think they should. I think that they should. I don't consider Image an independent. You guys know that. But I would like to see a DC list, an Image list, because Image has been killing it, and then an indie list. I would like to see Newsarama do that, because this is a really, really wonderful year for indie comics. and indie creators. And and my general feeling is that if they do the top 10, if they were to extend that top 10 to like the top 11, the guide to smart comic book collecting will probably be on the list. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. The thumbnails are going to be everywhere. Mikey Sutton has already given me a couple of images. He's given me a couple of images of those guys, those three guys on screen that I've shared on Instagram. And I had someone say that it was, photoshopped, and only time will tell. Only time will tell whether Mikey Sutton, who has been repeatedly right over the years, is right in this instance as well. So it will be really interesting. Is the audience going to stand up and cheer even if we accidentally know from social media? I don't know. That is one of the risks that they are literally taking by going overseas, because Mikey's article points out, where did he say? He pointed out that this thing is being released in Russia. He says South Korea and Russia, like a day ahead, based upon the release schedule, based upon the time differences and things like that. He says pirates will unveil their treasure no matter their origins. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out. So let me take that off the screen. Let me scroll down through the comments. Scrolling through DC. They know. I think they might. I think they might. Image, honestly, you gotta put, like, The Walking Dead is incredible, right? I mean, they probably have a top 10. I'll go out. I'll say it. I think there's some stuff. It's going to be mostly recent. It'll be mostly recent because most of the stuff back in the 90s was not very good. Where's Steve Conge? Except for Spawn. Looking at you, brother. I got you. Don't worry about it. He was probably typing. Scrolling through. Let me see if I'm all caught up here. I think I am all caught up by and large. Oh boy, mad bootlegging and pirating going to be in full effect. No doubt about it. Blasters, it's good to see you guys. Thank you. Deuce's boy says all three Spider-Man on screen might match the in-game Thor Wakanda theater experience, says Deuce's boy. I think he's responding to the person that asked if people would be standing up and cheering. It could be happening. I haven't been to the theater in such a long time. Somebody said to me, you should do movie reviews. And I was like, but I don't go to the theater. But in talking with the person, I think they were more interested in me giving my opinions of, like, movies and TV shows, because they appreciate my perspective and opinion, not necessarily for the timeliness of the comments on the movie or TV show being released. So I thought that was a great clarification on their part. Doug's going out here saying Elf Quest top 10. There you go. All right. Let me see. BJ, how you doing, brother? He says, No Way Home will be my first time in a theater since COVID. That's what's up. Oh, again, if you picked up a guide to comic book collecting, guide to smart comic book collecting, if you picked up a guide, take a picture with the guide so that I can use it in a reel. Send that photo to me. I'm doing the Distinguished Gentleman reel. It's a fun little reel. I released it earlier today on the Instagram. If you take a photo with it, I will, and you send it to me, I'm going to re-release it, showing folks actually reading the guide. Because after all, that is what Doug and I hope people will do with it, is actually read it. And there are several people that have read the guide over the last couple of days and had wonderful things to say about the guide, which I think is great. I think it is great. So, and as a reminder, we are going to have some CGC yellow labels of the guide available, the first print available at some point. I don't know. I'm going to be bundling the books up this week and sending off 24 copies of the guide. They're literally sitting right there waiting to be bundled up and sent off to Florida. I do not like to send CGC stuff over the weekend. I like to do it on Monday or Tuesday. That way it arrives by the end of the week. I don't like that transit time sitting on a tarmac or in a warehouse or something like that. I want it to leave my FedEx and go directly to the CGC and be signed. That's what I want to see. So there you go. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I don't know. I don't know about that one, brother. It's been a while since I've read. It's been a while since I've read some Savage Dragon. So here, let me break it down for you, Eric. No, I'm teasing. Who is this guy? Well done. Well done. All right. So the very last thing that I want to mention to you guys, and this is just a little bit of an aside. When you think about Guardians of the Galaxy, when you think about the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that have been released, there is probably one character, potentially, that you would say is people's favorite character of the movie. And I am curious. Who or what do you think that character might be? If you think about the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, who do you think is the most popular character out of that series? It ain't Star-Lord. So let me just go ahead and say that. Taser could be, but he dead. So we're not gonna count Taserface. Well done. I see a couple of Groots. I see a Rocket up there, a couple of Rockets. There you go. I see a couple of people up there. Drax, Groot, Rocket. A couple of people saying Rocket. A couple of people, yeah, there we go. So I thought that this was just interesting. I thought that this was just an interesting article. I'm not going to go into it in any way, shape, or form. But this was James Gunn. James Gunn actually spoke about this, and this was covered on comicbook.com. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, James Gunn reveals which character was the most popular in test screenings, and it wasn't Baby Groot. That is much to my surprise because I love Baby Groot. Baby Groot is hilarious, much like Baby Yoda. The man, I'm gonna tell you, babies are funny. Okay, babies are funny. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give it away. It was Drax. It was Drax the Destroyer. Was the most popular character, edging out Baby Groot. And this comes directly from James Gunn. He made mention of this. I don't know what I just clicked. I went to the Twitters. James Gunn is basically saying that it was Drax that was the most popular. So that was a little bit of a surprise to me. And this was all him kind of talking about, how he's a fan of Bautista and stuff like that. Now, what was interesting is that Bautista, who actually plays Drax, he made the point that he feels like Marvel actually dropped the ball. He feels like Marvel actually dropped the ball on the Drax character because they've only really shown him as a one-dimensional character, right? I think Bautista's like 52. He's like, hey, I'm doing this whole movie or multiple movies with my shirt off. I'm starting to get a little too old for this. But then he's also saying, hey, I think that they missed the ball. They missed the ball on showing maybe the complexities that are associated with Drax and his background. He even points out the fact that while Drax looks a certain way, he feels like he gets beat up the most out of anybody in the entire MCU. It also sounds like this guy's trying to get a solo movie. But hey, get that money, brother. Black Widow's dead and she got a solo movie. So maybe Drax the Destroyer can actually get a solo movie as well. But I thought that was a really interesting little tidbit because I assumed that Baby Groot stole the show just because I get the heart eyes whenever I see the Baby Groot or Baby Yoda on screen. So there you go. All right. A lot of people thought the same thing. There you go. I can picture this scene in my mind right now. He is really, really funny. And the whole background on Bautista is really interesting. If you guys never read any of like this guy's background, where he came from, it is really, really interesting. Bautista is going to be Bane, says Pretty Fly. Scrolling through the Drax solo movie is already better than I didn't know where you were going. I didn't know where I should start reading Chris Bigger's comments in reverse. I should read them in reverse, right to left, because he always saves it for the very end, and it always catches me off guard. So Bautista bomb on all the Disney executives, says Almighty Liger King. There you go. He is frightening in the 007 movie. He's actually in a couple of them. Like he's on C. SEEC. which is on Apple TV. He's actually on there, and he's pretty fierce. He's pretty fierce. I dig some Bautista. I really do. I think he's a dope character. Very, very large gentleman. Very, very large gentleman. They need to put him in the oh gosh. Oh gosh, no, not that, not that, not that. Man, I'm gonna tell you, anybody that could, and I've said this before, anybody that could have predicted that a Guardians of the Galaxy movie would have been successful is they should play the lottery immediately, because I don't know that anyone could have predicted that. I was reading Guardians of the Galaxy back in the day, back when I think it was Mark Silvestri was actually working on it, and I enjoyed it. This Guardians of the Galaxy team is just it's incredible, really really fun movie to watch. The way that the characters, well, the actors, right, kind of blend together and the characters play off of one another. I enjoy it. I really do. So let me see, scrolling through. Yeah. Oh, wait, he is in Dune, isn't he? That's right. That's right. That speaking of that movie, Dune is, I would have, like, tell me a different story. How many different Dune? I think we've only received two, but how many different times can we tell the exact same Dune story? Like, I read Dune back in the day, the book, enjoyed it. Watched the old Dune movie, enjoyed it. Watched the new Dune movie, enjoyed it. I'm ready for a different kind of story. I want to see a different story. So that would be dope. But yeah, he was pretty good in Dune. He's, like I said, where I was going with that thought a few seconds ago, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's been really, really busy, and I applaud him for that. So especially when you think about where his background actually comes from. So I totally agree. Totally agree. Kevin's on this one. Thought he was really good in Dune. There you go. He was in Dune and Blade Runner. I did not see Blade Runner. I did not see that one. So, um, ooh, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. Or The Rock. Dwayne's not going to let himself be covered up. Dwayne is Dwayne in every movie. he's always Dwayne. Chris Pratt is a good dude. That's the rumor on the street. Sandoval, how you doing? He says, "What's up? Just got out of work and glad to make your live, brother. You are on time for me to wrap up that, but I'm glad you made it, brother. No, teasy. He's in Dune. He is in Dune. He is. It's a good show. Bautista is in Dune. He is indeed. All right. So again, bunch of announcements I ripped off at the beginning. We announced the winner of the short box giveaway. I do not remember who it is. Let me go to my other screen here and see if I can pull it up. It is Justin Torres. Justin Torres is the winner of this month's short boxed $100 credit. So shout out to him. Make sure you send me an email. I am not doing a show this coming Wednesday, and I'll tell you guys why a little bit later. And then the other big thing that I announced is that we are going to be doing some CGC 9.8 yellow labels of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. Doug and I signed those at Garage Con. I am going to be bundling them up and sending them off to CGC. Fingers crossed this week. And because I am not doing a live show on Wednesday, I'm actually going to be releasing 4 pre-recorded videos at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are what comes next for me. Now that I have actually acquired Hulk #1, that is a question people are asking. I am kind of going to answer it this week in that video. I'm going to talk about free comics. I'm going to expose a third-party grading company. And then lastly, I am going to answer Tina's question. Tina asked me a very good question, and I'm not going to tell you what the question is. You have to watch the video because you'll hear the question from Tina. You'll hear how I twist that question and then how I answer it, hopefully to the enjoyment of 2,000 people that watched the video. Fingers crossed for that. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit tonight. Happy belated Thanksgiving, if that's like actually a thing. And I'm sorry that those folks that have been off of work have to go back to work. That includes myself. I am very saddened by this notion of going back to work because I enjoy the not working. I enjoy the not working. I really do. Fingers crossed at some point I won't have to do it. But according to my wife, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But I do want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you need to reach out to me, you can actually do that on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.